Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy.
Do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Dramas
Welcome back.
with your host Michael
And Nadia.
and Nadia.
I'm supposed to say her name.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez. She says my name and her own name? That's rude. Hello and welcome back. It's good to see you. And if this is your first time here, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Today, okay, well, actually, first of all, we'll start off by saying hi. How are you? Good. How are you? We actually, I'd like to mention that we are on a a top 15 Korean drama podcast list on feedspot.com. So blog.feedspot.com/Korean_podcast_drama, or I think I got that backwards.
Well, the link will be in the description below.
You'll see the link somewhere here too, wherever I put it. You'll see the link down below as well. So check that out. There's a lot of great podcasts as well on that list.
So thanks for featuring us.
So thank you for featuring us. Like, that's awesome. Like, I mean, man, I'm so happy. It's great. And we wanted to thank I guess he's the owner of FeedSpot. So thank you for putting us on there. Hopefully this will give us a little bit more traffic. There's no I mean, we do this for fun and something that we both enjoy doing. Yeah, like
spending as much time together as possible.
We will spend time together, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Legit
together 24/7.
You know, and we love doing this. So I mean, if more people enjoy it with us, that's awesome. Yeah.
But now to the main subject.
So
today we are talking about the recently aired and finished airing.
Last year. Well, 2020.
Yeah, recently. Still only January. So it's okay to not be okay. Or in Korean.
The literal translation would be psycho, but it's okay. I personally like the as cool as psycho, but it's okay sounds. I really like it's okay to not be okay title. It's
I think it does suit the show a lot better.
It does a lot actually, and it really, you watch the show and you're like, yeah, okay, now it makes sense. It makes sense. The title makes absolute sense to the rest of the show. Whereas a lot of some shows it's just like a title, right?
Yeah.
But this was great. It's great. I like it.
I agree.
So the show stars the ever famous Kim Soo-hyun, who I think this was his first role out of the military. And then, I mean, he's one of the highest paid actors in Korea.
It's crazy.
Then you have he plays Moon Kang-tae, who is what are they called?
It's like an RN or a nurse or a PSW.
Yeah, that's it. No, not PSW.
RSW, something. He's a
personal support worker or something like that. No.
No, because he has a nurse background as well.
Yeah, he has a nurse background, but they're anyways, so he works in a psychiatric hospital.
He works in multiple psychiatric
so
hospitals.
because they move around a lot. So he ends up back in his hometown and
with his
brother, who is played by Oh Jung-se, who
played the part exceptionally well.
Amazing. And I mean, this is an actor portraying a character with autism. And I mean, autism is a spectrum, right? So you can have someone with autism that doesn't really show signs. So like a fully functioning kind of, I don't know how you would explain that, but so like really on one end of the spectrum, and then you have his character, Moon Sang-tae, who is a little bit more on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right? So he you can really tell and understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He played this role incredibly
Yeah.
well. I mean, fantastic. And then you have So Ye-ji, who plays Ko Mun-young,
Mm-hmm.
who is a children's author.
Mm-hmm.
And her books, at first you're kind of like, they don't seem like children's books. But then when you really like read the story, or like when they tell the stories from the books, it's all metaphorical.
Yeah.
And it all has meaning to it. So
It all has meaning to her and how she was raised.
Yeah.
Which is a bit dark, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I feel like my character of the entire show, like the hidden gem, is the assistant. One of my the publisher's assistant.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, she so that's oh my god. Let me hold on. Her name in the show is Yu Sung Jae, who was played by Park Jin-joo, who's in random stuff here and there.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah, 100%. And the publisher is Kim Joo-hun.
Yeah.
Who his character is Lee Sung-in. This guy, like, I think his career took off in 2020, 2019. He had
you were saying that he was in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, he did this. He did Startup. He was in let me bring it up as well, because
who was he in Startup?
He was he played oh my god, Susie's father.
Oh
yeah.
Damn.
So really cameo-ish, but like he's in that. He was in Dodo Sol La La Sol.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he was in he had a couple other things. Like he was in Kill It, Encounter, and Dr. Romantic 2, but I think It's Okay to Not Be Okay really blew up his career.
He did it really well.
Yeah, yeah, and so he did amazing. His assistant was fantastic.
Oh, I feel like you need to point out the best friend and Jury.
Oh, Jury, yeah. Okay, so she was awesome, first of all. And even watching this the first time, and then watching Romance is a Bonus Book, I was rewatching it, and it still didn't click.
Didn't make any sense.
So her name is Park Gyu-young.
Yeah.
And in Romance is a Bonus Book, she plays the very ditzy, the little rich girl named Oh Ji-yoon.
Yeah.
And she plays alongside what's his face? Oh my god, what's his name? Where I always forget his name. He played in Romance is a Bonus Book. His name is Park Hoon. Kang Ki-dong. Okay, and he plays their friend Jo Jae-soo.
Yeah.
And
he's
so,
good.
Yeah. He's so it was really cool to see both of them
again
together, and not knowing that they were together until rewatching it recently.
Yeah, exactly.
When Nadia was watching it, I was watching it with her. It's okay, not be okay. So it was really interesting. So it was the cast is great. The cast is great. You have the nation's Ajuma as well, and there Kim Mi-kyung, Jury's mom.
Such a mom.
Yeah,
she can be my mom any day.
Oh, definitely, right? And then you have the.
I wonder if they ever reimbursed her for the amount of food they friggin' ate.
Oh man, that's it. But it's like that's their culture, right? That's the way they are there. That's the way Arabs are too. When you go home, they feed you and feed you and feed you, and if you're not hungry and you're full, they're still gonna feed you some more.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, you don't want to eat anymore. Here, have some coffee or tea. It's like I just want to die. I want to sleep in a coma and food coma, you know. But so all around amazing cast, very, very, very well done. We'll touch on a couple of things, like
quick synopsis of the show, because like you're talking and they don't really know what they're talking about.
Okay.
Or
so
if you do, then
let's
do a
recap. Let's skip over this. Y'all can skip the first 10 minutes.
No.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's just get into it.
So do a synopsis.
So Moon Kang-tae and Moon Sang-tae, the brothers, were always on the go because their mother died when they were younger, and then
was murdered.
And their brother, the brother Moon Sang-tae, who's autistic, witnessed the murder, but all he remembers is the butterfly pin, the mutated butterfly pin. So that's why he was scared of butterflies. And so they went to the police. The police, this is what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about is society's view on autism and autistic people, children, adults.
Essentially, they don't have the patience for it.
Right. So when he witnessed it and they went to the police police literally said, "Oh, your brother's an idiot. Like, he didn't see anything." You know what I mean? Like, we can't do anything if all he's going to say is a butterfly. Like,
exactly.
Get out of here, leave. So he obviously, because they didn't have their father, they never mentioned the father.
Yeah, they do. He
their
died.
Father? Oh, he died.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. Sorry. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So holding it. Okay. So child services was gonna get involved. So then they just kind of dipped.
Yeah, they ran
and
away.
It ran away, and then they would move every so often. As soon as something happens, they would move. They by the end of it, when you start out in the shows that they go back to their hometown. Yeah. Right. And then they meet Ko Min Young. Yeah. Who is his favorite author? The Sangtae's favorite author. Yeah. And it just goes from there.
I don't want to say it goes south, though.
I didn't say it goes south.
No, I know, but like I wouldn't say it goes south. I think it just goes.
Yeah, that's their adventure. Their adventure begins. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Exactly.
Because they all need to be together. They all need to meet because of certain things to resolve. They all need to meet because they knew each other as kids. And then
how do you say his name? I can't remember.
Gangtae.
Yeah. And then
like it's the letter in Korean, it's between a G and a K if you were to pronounce it. So sometimes it sounds like Gangtae and sometimes it sounds like Kangtae. But it's the way that it's pronounced. It's more abrupt. So it's not necessarily one or the other. It's in between. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so they knew each other as kids. Their paths continuously crossed as kids, and then it picked up when they went to the book signing, and his brother had a bit of a meltdown, or like a meltdown, but
no, so a little bit of a meltdown just because of the trigger. Yeah. So if someone touches the back of his head or his hair, that triggers it because the person who murdered their mom
did that.
Grabbed the back of his head and was like, "I'm gonna kill you too," kind of thing, and then like dipped. Like,
I didn't put that together. Wow.
And you just watched it. Okay.
Yo, there's so much going on. Okay.
Oh yeah, there is. So there's a lot because there's so much going on that they not necessarily put their issues on the back burner. They actually help. Like when he helps others, he's helping himself at the same time, kind of thing, because it makes him realize certain things. Yeah. And that's kind of what you need to do sometimes if you don't want to focus on fixing yourself. Yeah,
because like as you go through the show, what you realize is that every time, so during the show, every episode or every couple episodes, they would focus on one psychiatric patient. And then you'd realize like, oh, this person has this type of problem. Yeah. And this is how it corresponds to him. Yeah. And then it would help him kind of like realize, okay, well, this is the issue and like this is how I fix it. And then you can see him as each patient like kind of gets not necessarily healed, but like as he helps each patient come to terms with whatever is going on. Yeah. He grows. Yeah. Exactly. And like he comes out of his shell a bit more and he learns more about himself and he's more comfortable being around people, which he was never really like. He was just really standoffish and cold before.
Yeah, it's funny because they make the comment like Jesu and somebody else makes the comment when he smiles.
Mm-hmm.
They tell him not to smile.
Looks like the Joker.
Right? Yeah. So they tell him not to, but don't smile.
Yeah.
Because the reason why is because it's such a dark smile.
Yeah,
there's so
sinister.
much. Yeah, and there's just so much like
pent up emotion.
Yeah, like a lot of pent up like anger, frustration, guilt. Like there's a lot of negative emotions behind a smile. And it's not till like later on where he finally like lets go and figures stuff out, where he actually smiles and no one comments.
Yeah. Well, no, who was it that commented? I don't remember. Someone said, "Oh, your smile is like really nice." Oh no, I think it was the shaman. I'm pretty sure it was the shaman where she's like, "Oh, your smile is different and like lighter kind of thing."
Was it the shaman?
I think.
Oh, maybe because she was still in there.
Well, she was
the
there.
Lady with, no, because I was thinking about the lady with the shawl.
Yeah.
The fur shawl.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a lot. So there's a lot going on in the show. A lot. Majority of the show is this show is a lot. Like you can relate to this show. You can relate to how real they make things.
Yeah.
Right? Because not everybody is 100% sane. I'm sorry to say it. If you're watching this and you think you're 100% sane, I'm sorry to tell you. You're probably not. I, for one, can tell you I am not. And we all know this one over here is not. Because she married me, right? You can't be sane if you marry me. So... Oh, you have to... Yeah. So, this show, the characters really grow together.
Yeah.
As the story goes on.
I think all of them, they're like, so when they move into Juri's house with her mom.
When they first get there. Yeah.
And you can kind of see like the family dynamic that is created from that, and how like they get to, they're looking after Sancte, sorry. But they're also looking after each other, and they're taking care of each other and helping each other all heal from shit that's happened to themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a great thing to see, especially like they created this family together, right? Seeing as that there were always just the two of them, and well, three of them, because Jesu was always there with them, always moving with them.
But like, I don't feel like from the entire thing, I don't feel like they thought of him as family though.
Well, yeah, because every time it's like, who's gonna take care of my brother? It's the one person that I know who's gonna be able to do it, and who I can
will
trust.
Do it.
Yeah, who I can trust to do it. And the other one is comfort, like and like Sancte is comfortable enough to be with him, right?
Exactly.
Except when he's snoring at night. So they grow together. The major thing we were talking about is it's when you watch the end, you watch throughout, you really realize it's that inner child that needs healing. Because in everybody, you need to heal that inner child. There's that trauma that you haven't really faced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be able to move on and grow up properly to really grow up emotionally and spiritually. You need to face that inner child, that the traumas that really that really affected your life as you grew up.
I like how they portrayed it too. So throughout the show, they portrayed like kind of healing in the inner child by reverting the person back to the child or the child that portrayed them in the show.
Yeah.
So it happened to the shaman. So when she was finally able to confront her father.
Yeah.
He was like, Kang Tae was like looking at the kid at the end because she finally was able to get over it. Well, maybe not get over it fully, but like
She's
able to
facing it.
Exactly.
She got to face it. She accepted that it like happened. So she accepted that is the reality, because that's really why she's there, is that she didn't accept the reality of what was happening, and that's what kind of really drove her to that, right? To that point. And it is 100%. I'm not ever taking that away from anybody. It is one of the hardest things you can do is really accept the things that have happened to you. Like,
but then you also see her afterwards. Like, so at first she's a shaman, shaman that has a really not very nice wig. Didn't suit her.
Yeah.
And then when she reverts, so she has like a split, kind of like a split personality disorder, but the other personality only comes on when it's triggered by her father or whatever happened. And then so you see her then take off the wig, and she has pigtails, and she acts and speaks like a child. But then after confronting her father, you can see she has a entirely new hairstyle. And it's just like, she looks better.
Yeah.
And she just looks healed.
Exactly. And that's where she became the person that she is to be, kind of thing. Whereas that her inner child, that other personality was kind of holding her back. You know what I mean? Not holding her back in a sense where it's like they're keeping you from growing. Holding you back as in you need to face this. You need to confront this. You need to accept this, and then we can move forward together. Yeah. Right? Because your inner child grows with you. Yeah. In my perspective, is that your inner child, you always have your inner child with you, but to be able to walk with your child, with yourself, kind of thing, you have to walk hand in hand together. You don't want to, hide behind. Yeah. Like certain insecurities and stuff like that. Yeah. Which is like the inner child is like a conflict in yourself, right? You got to face yourself, your demons, the evil within. No, I'm just kidding.
You trying to talk to me about this right now?
So, anyways, so the characters, so the characters are all similar to the shaman there, where they all need to kind of move on, because none of them moved on from what happened in the past. None of them have accepted the things that happened to them when they were kids.
Well, it is traumatic, so
I'm not saying
no, I know, but like sometimes sometimes you need these, like, essentially in the show, I think they're lucky in the sense that all of these characters had huge events happen to them that helped them heal. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but I'm gonna explain something. Oh God, here we go. So, like everybody that needs to meet each other, meets each other. Okay, it's bound to happen, no matter how hard you try to avoid it. It's going to happen. So, when I say that they need to, like, this is something that they need to accept and get over, yes, they need to. I'm not saying they're gonna do it right away. Yeah. But they went through so much, and they were pretty much drawn to the point of going back to, I think it was the town that they're from, Jungjen, I think, and meeting the people that are there and interacting with them, not just doing what they usually do and just stay together, go to work, go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, they were bound to meet, especially like re-encounter Komunyoung. Yeah. And to encounter the director O of the psychiatric hospital. They needed these people to be able to help them, to help themselves with this, with their inner child work. Yeah. Right?
they need this to happen. Like whether it would happen in the show, like in the show, obviously that's when it happened, when they're, you know what I mean, early 30s. Sancte's in his mid 30s. It could happen later. You know what I mean? If it was real life, it could happen later. But they were bound to meet because they needed
to heal. They needed to kind of relive their past.
Yes.
They needed to go back where it started and just face it instead of consistently running away.
Exactly.
And they do. And as much as all three of them really resist and don't want to, they are pretty much forced into it and forced to grow up. And
it's not like, it's not that it's forced upon them. Like it was bound to happen no matter what. So
but it's fate. So fate is sometimes forced.
You can't force it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, fate forces itself though.
No, because it's already there. It's already predestined at that point. So okay. So the things that happen with the characters, okay, it's the same thing in life, okay. And I'll tell you this, and I've told this to people at work. Like this lady came up to me and was like, "What does your tattoo say?" Right? So my tattoo on my right arm says Hitsuzan, which is Japanese for inevitable. Like the short version, inevitability, blah, 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 blah.
Inevitability?
Anyways, that word. So it's a short form. It's a lot more to it. And she was like, "Oh, why'd you get that?" I'm like, 'cause that's my belief, is that there are certain events in your life that are inevitable, that are preordained. Excuse me. And that need to happen for you to grow as a person. Like these are events that need to happen. And she said, she comments like, "Oh, so what you're saying is I had to meet my ex-husband or something like that?" I'm like, "Yeah. Then you wouldn't have known what better was. If it was crappy for you, then you would realize, oh, I deserve better." You know what I mean? Like like certain things make you realize that, and that's why they happen, is so that you kind of click and be like, "Oh, okay," right? Not everything is everything is relevant. Everything in life is relevant. You may not think it's relevant, even if it's you choosing where to sit in a bus station because you're going to another city. Whether you choose to sit beside nobody or choose to sit beside the random single father with his 3 kids, you know what I mean? Like it's all relevant, right? And some people don't see that. So everything that they do in the show, everything that happens is all relevant to them, to their life, and to help them grow as people.
Yeah.
Get it?
I did not get it.
Okay. That's all that matters. So yeah, so like I've told people, like it's not something I want to preach, but I'm like, and people don't understand it. Like sometimes, you may not believe what I tell you. You know, may not believe anything I say to you ever, and that's fine. I am used to that. That is, I hold nothing against you if you don't believe in what I say to you. But the things that happen, that if you just really pay attention to your surroundings, to the people you've met, to the people that, to the events that happen in your life, to you know what I mean, to the random strangers that you've seen walking around like here and there, you know what I mean? Because I as a writer, I watch people, right? You've done the same thing. You know, whenever we used to take the bus, right? What do? There's nothing else to do. You just watch people listen to music,
or read. I try and read on the bus, but anyways,
I can't do that. So
have to.
Those are all. It's just pay attention to those, and you'll see the relevance between like those people, those events, and your life. You know what I mean? And just look back on what you've done, what you've been through, who you've met, and look where you are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look what you've learned from certain people, from certain events.
I feel like the huge thing going around right now on social media is like everyone you meet okay, sorry. Most people you meet come into your life at the right time.
Yeah.
And then if they leave your life, they're leaving your life because they have served their purpose, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of these events and these things happen because you need to learn, you need to grow. They need to, as much as traumatic shit sucks, sometimes maybe you're supposed to get fucking, I don't know, like something traumatic happened to you because you're supposed to have a fundraiser that serves for that purpose. And you're supposed to help people get over this type of traumatic thing.
Let me rephrase that for you. It happened to you because you are someone that needs to do it for others.
That makes sense. I wasn't sure how to word that properly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you need, it sucks that it happened to you, but if it didn't happen to you, then somewhere down the line, someone else didn't create this organization to help people that went through what you did. You know what I mean? Like, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So enough with life lessons. I guess I'll stop there. I don't want to preach anybody. You live your life the way you think is best. Like, it's all on you. It's all you want to do. You want to be happy, and you want to do this, do it by all means. Whatever you want. Yeah. That's whatever makes you happy. Yeah. That's it.
Next.
Wow. I see how it is. So another major thing with the show.
Yeah.
That was really, really different from every other Korean drama. Majority of Korean dramas, majority of what?
Love you.
Majority of American shows as well is a main character with autism.
Yes.
Okay? And so one other Korean show did it, was The Good Doctor.
Was that Korean first, or was it
Korean first?
Okay, cool.
Korean first.
Okay. So let me touch on something. I know you're probably gonna go into it anyways. So, as Korean, like, we know that autism isn't really well known or well understood with mass population and like whatever. But as a Korean culture, people who I feel like have a huge stigma to mental health, autism, and other disabilities, why do you think they're some of the first people to do it like that? Like, to do these types of shows?
I think the writers of these shows and the directors who chose to do the shows wanted to kind of give some sort of awareness to it, some sort of trying to bring it to the forefront. In my opinion, maybe they just want to do it because it's different. You know what I mean? Especially in Korea, it's very different to have a character with mental health issues, with a disability, with that's black. You know what I mean? Like in Itaewon Class.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted it for the wow effect, right? Which sucks, right?
Yeah.
Which sucks to think about it that way. But I mean, that's what TV used to do back in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, until we realized, okay, this is kind of rude, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I personally think, and I hope I'm right, and to check on Nim for the show, I hope you wanted to bring more awareness to autism, especially in Korea. In North America, in Canada, I'm gonna go with Canada because I'm not 100% familiar with how the states handle their mental health awareness and disabilities and stuff like that. In Canada, we try as much as we sometimes succeed and sometimes fail at it.
Still a huge stigma towards
there's
it.
There's a huge, but there's a lot of people trying to bring awareness to autism, to Asperger's, to disabilities, to mental health, Granted, so this show's coming out on Friday. On Thursday, it is Belle's Let's Talk, right? So if anybody wants to talk, hit us up. But there's in Canada, it's there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more people trying to fight for it, right? And we have a prime minister that kind of tries to do it, but sometimes politics is like, politics is not the best. Yeah.
I will say, like, as much as funding is probably limited right now, Canada does have a lot of programs that parents can use and disabled people can use. So that's always a plus.
Yeah, and like the government does try to give more money to those in need that need it the most, because I went to actually an elementary school that we had attached to our school was a school for the special needs, the disabled.
Oh, we had one too.
And so we had a lot of awareness in elementary school. They always like I learned a little bit of sign language in elementary school. Yeah, we learned a song and signed it, right?
Nice. I think the one thing, so in my high school we had a resource room essentially for disabled or the one thing that I thought was interesting, as much as they could for the students that could go into class and sit down and actually listen and participate, they would bring them into class,
right?
So they would actually get to communicate and not just be stuck in a room,
right, like
doing nothing. Well, not doing nothing, but like actually participate in other things.
And I feel like we're moving more I think we're moving forward as a society in Canada anyways, with autism, and really kind of showing people there is that spectrum. Like being autistic doesn't mean you're gonna do things a certain way. It just, there's a spectrum of it. So there's
just learn a different way, man.
Yeah. So like Oh Jung-se's portrayal of an autistic 35-year-old is on one end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like he kind of really took it further. You know what I mean? Kind of really, and it's I think it's better this way. Just to kind of, if he was more like the character. So in Power Rangers, the movie that came out in 2017, the Blue Ranger, by who he played, it was RJ Cycler, I think his name was.
I don't remember.
So the character Billy Cranston, he was on the spectrum. He was autistic.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really notice it because if he stayed quiet kind of thing, you wouldn't really notice it. So whenever they're in the detention hall and he's not really doing much, you kind of see, oh, he might be a little OCD because he's putting his pencils away, but you don't really notice it. Whereas Oh Jung-se's character, he other end of the spectrum, and you really notice it because of his mannerisms and the things that he's doing and the way he's kind of like, he can't really sit still kind of thing, right? So I think this way it's like you can see the difference, right? And you can see there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
And people, and in Korea, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Korean society, but they're not as maybe I got this completely wrong, but they're not as aware.
They could be very similar to the Arab culture where they don't.
I believe that. I honestly think Arabs and Korean and like the Asians are very similar. Like we are in Asia, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
hold in your emotions and just don't yell.
Yeah. Another so I was thinking of like another show. So oh my god, there's a show with Lee Ji-hoon, and he plays a character where he actually is paralyzed from the waist down, but so he actually has like technology that helps him walk. So at one point the technology fails, and so he has to be in a wheelchair, and he's trying to get a taxi. There's no taxis coming, and then he goes on his phone and he's you know how you can call a taxi through your phone, but taxi for the disabled, an hour and a half wait. And it's like, I'm pretty sure there's more than just one person that needs a disabled person that needs a taxi. Shouldn't you have that more of that service, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so seeing this, seeing, you know what I mean? The and I hope Koreans are a little bit, I'm 100% sure Koreans are a lot more polite than in the shows where they portray one of the police officers at the beginning when their kids treating him like an idiot. The foreman of the construction place, I guess it was a construction or something at the beginning where he was working.
Oh, right.
Before they moved, and he had a little bit of a meltdown. And the foreman was treating him like an idiot. Like, oh, why is he so stupid? It's like that's not.
He's not stupid. He's actually a very intelligent person, you know.
Right. And that's like, this is like,
I feel like so it has a lot to do similar to like the wheelchairs. So what was in the last 10 years that wheelchair accessibility became a thing. But if you go into a lot of apartment buildings that are 15 years or older, a lot of these apartment buildings by these big companies still don't have full wheelchair accessibility.
No, that's true.
So it's the same thing with mental disabilities. Because we are shedding more light onto it in the last 5-10 years, there's still not a lot of resources and
there is that big stigma, and I like that they, like, the character, the main character, he's a main character. He is like, not only a main character, he's important to the entire story.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can have main characters where they have their own side story, but no, he's like
main. He's like one of the, like, I feel like he is the main character essentially. Like
essentially,
him and his brother and I can't say her name.
Moon Young. Yeah.
Like they're all very, like, they're all equally important. Yeah. But I feel like the brother, it just shines a light on things that really need to be spoken about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what is great, is that they really, like, I know it sucks that they, again, like, maybe they use it for the wow factor, but at least it's like, oh, an autistic character. I was reading, actually, someone was like, why didn't they just get a real autistic person? And I mean, it'd be great. But I think it's a little bit more difficult for them to train in acting.
I don't know.
Would it be like, that would be, can somebody, that would be amazing. If anybody's listening or watching this and know of
an
autistic actors,
that'd be cool,
on the spectrum.
Well, actually, you know what? I think it is very possible, because look, there's a blah, 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 blah. There's quite a few actors that have Down syndrome.
Oh, okay, that's true.
So, like, I don't know much about Down syndrome, to be honest, but I know they can have emotional outbursts when, like anyone really. But like, I'm not comparing them to each other, but I feel like if someone with Down syndrome can take direction, and
it's not like taking direction,
or like maybe memorize their lines.
I feel like they'd be able to memorize.
They would probably have to have like their support worker with them, right? You know,
because like acting, when you're acting, you're really taking on a different role. It's like, it's not yourself, right? So you gotta be somebody else. Yeah. And I feel like, as an autistic person, you guys have to correct me if I'm wrong here. You tell me so I know. But then I want to know these things. But I feel like they wouldn't be able to become somebody.
Well, it could be like, I feel like if they could write their traits into it, so everyone has their own little tics and traits and things. So I feel like if they could incorporate that, then maybe it'd be a lot easier for them. So if like one person rubs their leg, then that's their comfort, you know.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So one thing I really like about this show is that not only do they grow like their inner child and they heal, but you also see Sang-tae grow as well. So
Yeah.
they don't force him to be, but they kind of give him the role as the older brother and kind of like tell him, oh, you're my older brother, you need to be taking care of me.
Yeah.
Obviously this isn't going to work in every situation,
Right.
but I feel like for him, because he really cared about his brother and he really wanted to be that older brother, it worked for him. And I feel like everyone around them, as much as you're so used to doing your habit, like, so they obviously had the ways of dealing, Kang-tae and Sang-tae, they had their ways of dealing with his outbursts and breakdowns their own way. But you also see how an outside perspective can help, right? The mom is just like, get up, like, as much as your outburst is relevant and you deserve that little emotional breakdown, it's time to kind of get up, pick yourself up, and like let's me and you do something together.
And that's she wasn't like the other adults that you would see and treating him like a child or treating him rudely. She was more polite about it. It's like, okay, come on, let's go, like, get up. Like
the patience was there and everything was there.
She was a mom, which was great, and that's what they needed. They both needed, all three of them needed. They really needed that mom.
I really would have liked her and
the director.
What?
The director? Oh,
no. The girl. Oh my god, what's her name?
Juri?
What? No, the main girl. I can't remember.
Oh, Moon-young?
Moon-young. Okay. I really would have liked her and the mom to have more interaction. I feel like so the interactions they did have were really great. And like you could kind of see like, oh, this is what a mom was supposed to be. My mom was shit. Well, she was fucking psychotic.
Crazy.
Also, if someone wants to tell me how the mother survived what happened to her, no.
So if you look at this, okay. So if you look at it, I'm gonna repeat it.
I refuse.
If you look at because they don't really explain how she survived after the dad pretty much killed her, dragged her out, threw her body in the ocean.
Like, was her body in the bag, or did she escape, or what?
So this is my opinion. Is that it's metaphorical, as in a sense where she is the embodiment of how do you say this? So you cannot just bury your demons. You have to face them. And she is the portrayal of the demons of their past. And she came back because you can't kill a monster. She came back and they had to face their demons. And now that they faced them head on, she's no longer like they no longer have to like deal with that anymore because they overcame that, right?
But like her head,
I don't know.
Her neck.
I don't know.
Could they have not have just hinted
There's
a
always
tiny
plot
bit?
holes in every show.
That's
or
a
movie.
huge plot hole. Okay, it's a huge plot hole if it doesn't symbolize what you're saying.
Okay, all right, but like it's not. I think the reason why they just kind of like whatever, because it wasn't like the main part of the story. I think they should have fixed it. Yes, they should have fixed it or explained it, but it wasn't relevant to the story. Anyways. Okay. So I think we touched on everything today.
Yeah.
I think we went through the show pretty well. Like I think
I would 100% suggest the show. I cried at the end. I actually probably cried throughout the show.
Yeah, it was very emotional. So it actually took me a while to actually start watching the show.
Yeah.
Because you know when you go on Netflix and they start showing you the preview when you're on it.
Yeah.
So it has that music. Doom, doom. Like, I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna screw with my emotions the entire time. I know it. I'm like, I feel like this is gonna be like sad throughout or like really. So it took me a while to actually watch it, and then I started watching it and I loved it.
Yeah, but I will say they did a really great job of balancing. So like half an episode you'll be like super happy, and then for a good 5 minutes you'll be sad something bad will happen, and then
Yeah. They did
I think
it
was a very well done show.
Very well done show. I agree. 100%. Recommend. Watch it. Yeah, watch it. So we're gonna end the segment today, and we're gonna do this. We'll try and remember to do this every segment.
We're adding something new.
I'm trying to figure out a word, like a name for the segment, but I'm just gonna call it "What's Good in the Hood," just because that was the only.
Because he's from the hood.
That's the only thing I can think of at the moment. But we're gonna talk. We want to just kind of like talk about real quick a recommendation for music. So Epic High is back. So they've been like, they revolutionized hip hop and rap music in Korea. And they just came out with a new song called Rosario, featuring CL from 21, who they were one of the first girl groups to kind of go international. And then Zico, who is my all-time favorite.
Zico.
Like, he's my all-time favorite rapper, idol, whatever you want to call him. Maybe I'll get bashed for this, but I really think he's equivalent to Eminem in my opinion in Korea. Not like they're both on the same level, but like in
side note, he really loves Eminem and it's his favorite rapper, so don't hate him, because like he knows every rap
Eminem
song.
is the best rapper of all time. So that's just my opinion.
Let's put that out there, so
I'm allowed to have my opinions, people. So this is a great song, because it's literally, the song is literally about how Epic High is rapping. It raps about how they paved the way for, they are legends who paved the way for the next legends, pretty much. And Tableau, who is probably the coolest guy ever,
who's Canadian,
by the way, gotta plug Canada there. He would mention about how a lot of the idols groups that are probably like BTS and Blackpink are both based around hip hop, which is true, because RM, Suga, J-Hope are very rap oriented. And then in Blackpink, their producer and songwriter Teddy Park is from Two Time, which was a big rap group in Korea.
Cool.
Right? So they are really based, and a lot of groups, you know what I mean, like, are based around hip hop. And then you have Zico, who is, in my opinion, one of the best hip hop rap artists in Korea. And he came from Block B, who was an idol group, right? And he did a lot of the writing and producing for Block B. And a lot of people criticize him for the idol turned rapper, but he was always a rapper. You know what I mean? But he just smart enough to go, I want to be a rapper. What's the best way to do this to get pretty much projected to fame? I'll go be an idol. Why? Because without Epic High, pretty much really revolutionizing hip hop, because they weren't even mainstream when they first came out. It was really hard for them to get to the mainstream because rap and hip hop weren't big, right? As big as it was here, right?
That's interesting.
So in like 2001, in like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, it was, hip hop was big here.
Yeah. Right? Was it not there?
No, it wasn't. It was still, K-pop was taken over. K-pop, like pop music was the big thing.
Okay.
Right? So they pretty much, like, after a few years, they kind of came up almost mainstream. It was still kind of not, because hip hop and rap were not mainstream in Korea, and they still aren't.
Yeah.
But they integrate it within K-pop.
Well, it's best to do that, right? Bring in like pop idols and.
Yeah, exactly. So in my opinion, Zico did the smartest thing he can do is get into K-pop, become an idol, and then what you can do is after that do your own stuff. Yeah, you're only limited to like the maximum you can sign a contract for is 7 years. So after 7 years, what did he do? He created KOZ. Entertainment, which now is owned by Big Hit. So now he's even like
bigger.
Now he's like raking in all the money, but like he has freedom to do whatever he wants, right?
Exactly. So back to the song. So a cool thing that Mike pointed out to me was that the song, like the video that they did, was pretty much designed to be watched on your phone.
That was sick. That's the smartest thing ever.
Like not like the video, not the sideways.
So usually you would watch your videos like, oh, it's a small screen like that, right? So you would turn it over, and then on YouTube it's like full screen. Whoever decided they were gonna shoot it this way was smart, especially like the way that the music video was shot.
Yeah,
like even
it was
just
so well done.
Like it's a hallway most of the time. It's a small room, so why would you do wider shots, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they would spin. So you would just literally just watch the video like this, and it's your full screen.
And the cinematography was amazing.
Oh,
it was
fantastic!
So good.
Oh man, like lyrically insane, and like vocally, CL was amazing. Like I think she was the perfect. Excuse me. She was perfect not only for her legendary status, but for her vocals.
Yeah,
was the right sound for it, in my opinion. And then you have Zico mixed in with Tableau and Jin Mithra, Mithra Jin, and then it was fantastic. Like honestly, like this is like it's coming. Their Epic High's new album's coming out. I don't know if it's out or coming out soon. It's Epic High is here, and I mean, check it out. Yeah. Check out Zico.
Check out the song.
Check out the song. Check out Zico. Check out CL with 21. 21. They're awesome. They're great. They're really. I actually really like them. Like I don't have them on my playlist. Sorry, but I do listen to them. Don't worry, I listen to them. Yeah. So that's gonna be that. Yeah. So that's it. So that's what's good in the hood. It might change. I might change the name. But I like the name, so I'll keep it like that for now.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks
Obviously,
for listening.
Follow us on all the social media things: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Not super thing on there, but but yeah, click the link below.
Yeah, so check out the link
Site.
below. The podcast list, top 15 Korean drama podcast to listen to. Check out. We will put in links for
Bell Let's Talk.
Bell Let's Talk, mental health awareness. We'll put in, you know what I mean, like any information that we kind of talk about today. We'll put in the links to give you easier access to it.
Just remember, it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
Bye.